Hey, Nick Smoot here, and founder of Innovation Collective and CEO. If you don't know about what we do, basically we activate communities. We build really cool real estate with developers, owners. Sometimes we are participating in owning them all across the country, and we help big brands find awesome innovation in the middle of nowhere. So to back into that whole thing, we do that because I believe that the smartest, most awesome ideas are stuck out in the middle of most communities where people can't access the big market. And I want to tell you a story, and it has to do with Harry's and Tinder and Uber in Los Angeles. I, for years, have believed this, that humans ever have magic in them, and yet market forces, everyone claims, would push them to the big cities. And I don't buy that. I think people are stuck often in places and they don't know how to connect with the resources around them or the community around them. And so I want to quickly talk about Harry's. If you don't know, Harry's is a razor company for shaving, and it's an awesome story about some guys who were a part of Warby Parker, a glasses company. These are Warby Parkers actually, and decided to go tackle the shaving industry. They raised a bunch of money, bought a razor factory, launched the brand. Incredible story. I met both founders of Harry's actually at one of their launch parties way back in the day when they were starting it in Los Angeles with a VC who invested in them. And congratulations on your big fat payout today. You know who you are. But I remember meeting them when they just were getting ready to launch this, and they were raising capital and thinking, this is awesome. It's two more humans in the world who are like, we're gonna go change the world and do something cool. Same thing, one time I walked into a meeting I was getting ready to have, and I met a guy named Sean Rad who was kind of starting a company called Tinder. And he was inside of IAC, and a lot of VCs didn't know what Tinder was. And then they were getting excited, and then they all wanted to invest, but then it was owned by IAC, and there's all the stories behind Tinder. But now Tinder's a household name that a lot of people know in dating and matchmaking. And then you see Uber IPO, and you see all these billion-dollar companies. And I was reflecting on it this morning as Uber's IPOing. Harry's just got bought for $1.37 billion. The other day I was driving in LA and passed the Tinder offices and IAC, and I realized how awesome it is to meet a human who's like, I'm gonna build something cool, and it's crazy, and I'm gonna go for it, and it's gonna change the world. And then someone someday goes, wow, what you did is worth billions of dollars, and you changed the world and made it to where you can push a button, a cab shows up, or swipe and you find a mate, however that works with Tinder. And then you've got Harry's, where it's like, I want razors to come to my house, I'm gonna shave my face. I tell that story because two things. One, humans are awesome, they can do crazy things. Two, the idea that that can only happen in Los Angeles or San Francisco or maybe Seattle, New York, London is ridiculous. And I have decided in my life, I'm going to be on a journey for the rest of my life to prove that to the world, that capitalism can still work, and we don't need to just distribute money to the people stuck in the middle so that we can keep them quiet. That the people stuck in the middle actually have brilliant ideas. And that's what Innovation Collective is all about, completely. And what I'm proud to say is two things. One, like last week, the last 7 days, right? In the last 7 days, in a small town of about 50,000 people, there has been an executive who ran marketing for all cloud computing at IBM, and now runs the, I think, marketing for the Innovation Lab at PricewaterhouseCoopers. You've got an executive who integrated Walmart.com, and you have an executive who ran the Innovation Partnership Program for XPRIZE and Singularity, and you have a mountaineer who's world famous, who helped start the Mountain Film Fest, and Telluride Film Fest, and the one up in Banff, and tried hiking Everest, friends died, world premiere of a documentary, all happened in that same little town. All those people on separate days came in and out of a small town in what we would call a flyover location. And they came there to mentor people because the humans in that community are doing insane things, and they're a part of our community together. And we now have 9 of these communities across the world, and they're continuing to grow and showing corporate America that in the middle of nowhere, humans are awesome still, and they can add a lot of value with their crazy ideas. You can't scale a company to the same size. You can't get all the money or the talent. However, you can create magical things and then partner with big brands to let the humans in the middle become the R&D engine for the big brands. So I want to hit on that, and here's why. We have a festival coming up that you can come to And each year we host Think Big Festival in the different communities all around the verticals, because each town gets a vertical to innovate for. And we as Innovation Collective have found a model where we build a community, activate the humans, and go, let's do this, we're all awesome. Then we start building spaces and partnering with developers like this is the Innovation Den, 40,000 square feet where people work, they play, they laugh, they create together. And then we have our other arm of the company where we look at people's innovations and go, how can we help you get capital? How can we help introduce you to big brands? And it's working. Like, we're literally watching people like the two founders of Harry's who go, I think we can disrupt the razor industry, but they're in the middle of nowhere. And we go, I think you can too. And next thing you know, through connections, relationships, access, mentorship, it's happening. And in our portfolio, something awesome I can share, I believe we have, I know confidently, not just believe, I know confidently there are at least 3 companies in our portfolio of investments and companies that we've assisted and kind of walked alongside of. It's not us, it's the magical human beings at the helm with our assistants. They're going to add billions of dollars to multiple large corporations over the next 2 to 3 years. And there are deals happening all the time, and it's magical to watch because people from big corporations fly out to the middle of nowhere and go, that's not possible. You can't do things like that in places that aren't San Francisco or LA. This isn't real. And I love it because it is so different than everything they've ever seen. And humans are having more fun creating together in community. And even today, I had somebody show up and said, I've been working on this project for a while, I had an idea, I have like 25 ideas, and by going to all the coffee and concepts events, I realized I have to build it. And then he started creating a product, and now it's live. He pulled up in a trailer, he shows me, opens up the back of a trailer, and he's got hardware that he's built. Hardware is hard, and he built it, and he has patents, and he's getting ready to go show it to the CEO of a major corporation, and they're getting ready to like test it and start the shipping process. And I am blown away by the magic in humans everywhere. So all I want to say, I guess, is dream big, like work hard, help each other, do it anywhere, and it can happen in the world, and people can do amazing things together. But more importantly, if you're near an innovation collective, get involved, like show up. We have 70-ish events per year in 9 different communities going on around the world, and we're going to keep going until we get to about at least 4 per state in the United States, and we're going to become the activation engine for the humans in our world who feel like they're left behind. Because you're not useless, you're not wasted, you're awesome, and I'm tired of people feeling that way. All that to say, September 20th and 21st, sign up for Think Big Festival. If you haven't been to thinkbigfestival.com yet, we're starting to load up the speakers. It is where we have an annual celebration of all the awesome human beings getting together, and we invite all of the like elite thinkers of the world in that vertical, and they come for a think tank. We have all sorts of fun events we host around it. We do a hands-on tech carnival. We have a bunch of speakers. We go to the different communities, startups around town. And last year we had about 2,000 plus people engage in the different components of Think Big Festival. And the other day, my son said, Dad, can you get me a ticket to Think Big? I have an idea. And I was like, well, what do you think Big is? And he said, he's 8. And he said, Dad, it's when all of your friends and people from all over town get together and they come up with crazy ideas that just might be possible. And he told me he wants to work on 3D printing a full human. Because we were talking about how they 3D printed a heart. And I said, man, there's a whole TV show on HBO about this. There's a book series behind it about like what could go wrong. He's like, can I read the books? And I was like, no, not yet. Westworld's a little too mature for you. You're 8. But we need to start thinking bigger while we're doing jobs that maybe aren't as fun. And we need to stop wasting our time watching so much TV and sitting there on Facebook and Netflix. And I know I'm on Facebook right now. But we need to create together as human beings and be awesome and add value to the world. So September 20th and 21st, come to Think Big in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Check out the website, thinkbigfestival.com. You're going to be seeing more Think Bigs pop up there throughout the rest of 2019 and 2020, all around the world, of people thinking big for the vertical they're in and hanging out with experts from around the world. Already, there's a football helmet company out of Seattle called Visus, I believe is how you say it. I'm sorry if I got it wrong. But they're going to be sending out some folks from their hardware lab. It's this incredible helmet that the NFL is obsessing over and all these sports brands. We have Da Vinci Robots, which is like this beautiful surgical robot, almost looks like something from Westworld. They'll be here. We're starting to see INL is coming out, Idaho National Laboratories, if you don't know who they are, world's leading research institute on energy. They'll be here to talk about cool things you can do in energy. Like, just, it's amazing. And I guess all I really wanted to say is Like just don't leave the awesome ideas for the people who believe they only can do it in the big cities, because it's wrong. It's just wrong, right? Like, you can do it, and you need community, you need support, you need access to capital, you need mentorship, you need all those things, and that's why we have built what we've built. However, I just want to say, don't ever stop. Keep shipping, keep building, keep doing awesome things. And if you have questions about how to get an innovation collective in your community, reach out to me here, or send me a message, nick@innovationcollective.co, and I don't know, we'll just keep marching forward. East Coast is going live with some locations. We've got the West Coast with more going up. Reno, go check out their Innovation Collective. I'll be down there this next week, speaking at a conference that they have. Onward and upward. I believe that the greatest innovations of our time will come over the next period from people who right now may be depressed, sitting at home going, I've got nothing to give to the world. You do. So I'll shut up. I don't know what else to say. See you at Think Big, hopefully in September. Sign up for that. We have a bunch of other events going on before that too. But yeah, sign up on our email list. Our website doesn't quite explain everything we do, and that's okay. I really don't care, because we're actually out there doing things with real humans and building awesome things all around us. I am done, I think. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, it's time for us to have American Dream Factories all over the world, and humans walking in there going, I want more out of life. And while maybe you're a dishwasher on the side, cool. Research whatever you want and come to our community, and let's activate and connect and help you build awesome things with friends. That is the way we will get out of this mess where everyone's scared about capitalism, what will happen. And just know that, you building a company in some small town is quite possible, and doesn't mean it has to be a multi-billion-dollar company. You can build something that's going to change the world, and we can, still pair you up with big companies. Part of our whole theory, by the way, is that you take the great breakthrough and you kind of outsource some of the problems that ruin communities, right? I don't want every small town in America to be San Francisco. I don't want every community in, Ireland or the Caribbean or South America to be Seattle. There are plenty of problems they have because of the big innovations and like the cycle of everyone going there and turning into a rat's nest of humans. There's beautiful, magical things there. But we got to figure out a solution where people can stay out in the middle of nowhere and still add value to the world in a significant way, and not just sit there and wait for free money coming from the government in the form of a universal basic income. We need a better model to incentivize human beings. So all that to say, if we're not in your town, just start hanging out with your neighbors and say, hey, once a week, let's talk about what we dream about and what we want to build. Like, that's awesome, and a better use of your time than sitting there watching Netflix until it says, are you still watching, you lazy human being? I'm done.